Hi Libra, welcome to my home where it always seems that there is the dishwasher running. I think like half the readings for January have my dishwasher running in the background. At least you guys know it's clean. So, happy January. Happy New Year. I hope you guys had a nice, safe, fun, and exciting New Year. We are really being focused on family. This time of year is that time of year where we hyper focus on our family. And with Venus retrograde, as well in that Capricorn area of our chart, there's a lot of reparenting even happening right now as well. So we're going to look at the cards, and we'll talk about the astrology as we go along. In the extended, I'll do super in-depth astrology, and we'll clarify the cards. But I feel like there's this oh, wow, okay. I feel like there's this healing... how do I want to put this? I think there's a healing cycle that's coming to an end for you. And things are going to change pretty rapidly. And I think that you're clear on what it is that is changing and what needs to change, and moving forward, you know, you're on board. You're on board to do it. But, you know, there's a lot of unknowns that are here as well. So we have the Knight of Cups. Sorry for the glare. It's really dark in here today, so I have the second, all the lights on here. Then we have the Queen of Cups. We have the Sun. Love that for you. We have the Tower. And then the World. Excuse me. And the Ace of Pentacles and the Empress. January, there's a lot of release on expectations for, not that you have on yourself, but the expectations that others have put on you, where you created that narrative in your mind of the expectation of yourself. So there's this, like, you know, really having to reparent yourself in a lot of ways so that you don't place those expectations on yourself. The Knight of Cups, the Queen of Cups, and the Sun. What I love about the top row is there are messages of love, and there are people that are coming towards you, and there are, you know, just very clear intentions, because I feel like the Queen of Cups is the energy that you're sitting in, whether you have a lot of water in your chart or not. But I feel like there's this softened, like you've softened your emotional energy shield, if you will. Because Libras, and especially Libra risings, but Libras in general, Libra moon, all of that, are very adult, right? Very responsible, very, you know, this is what we're going to, you know, and they are coined indecisive because they will look, I mean, they're the scales, right? You guys will balance everything out. You're going to look on all sides. And I feel like January is the month where you realize that all the balance that you need to do in order to create justice in the world is to balance yourself. And for me, it appears that even though the things around you right now seem to be falling apart with that, and maybe it's not even things are falling apart, maybe it's just that the foundations that you once built on are no longer resonating in your energy anymore, and things are being taken away, and things are, you know, we have to make room, right? We talk about this all the time. We have to make room for all of the new things, the good stuff, the things that our soul wants us to have so that we're happy and we're thriving. And if that tower is a metaphor for your life, what is it that you're releasing? For a lot of you, it's going to be the childhood wounds, the childhood traumas, the things that, because we have this emphasis on the 4th house and the 10th house axis, and that's your mother and your father. The 4th house is your mother and the 10th house is your father. Sometimes the 10th house is the mother and the 4th house is the father, but however it works out in your personal chart, being a Libra rising and having Capricorn for the 4th house made you the tiny adult growing up. And so every Capricorn season, we see this responsibility come out. And we see how the things sort of build up on us. And I feel like in January, you're recognizing that you're just not going to hold everybody else's stuff on you to create balance for them when you haven't even been able to do it for yourself. And now is the time that you're doing it for yourself. So there's this cycle that's ending, that's creating space for you. And I love that the sun is here, because the sun is like reclaiming your energy, reclaiming yourself. You could be dealing with a Leo energy, but I also had the Empress down here, which is you, with that Ace of Pentacles. And so within this space of whatever needed to clear out with the tower happening and just crumbling down, within that space, that Ace of Pentacles is the gift from the universe. And showing you, I really wish it wasn't glaring so much. One of these times I'm going to find there we go, that's a good spot. So literally that Ace of Pentacles is being handed straight to the Empress. And it's when you recognize your value, not the value based on all of the narratives that you were told growing up, all the narratives that you were told as a teenager, all the narratives you were told, and all of those toxic adult relationships that you then had, whatever it was. We didn't have every relationship wasn't toxic, I'm sure, but the amount of them that creates the wisdom within us sometimes, because Libra is about having relationships. Libra is the sign of relationships. It is the natural 7th house. And so relationships are extremely important to Libras. Yes, they're important for the entire human race. We grow upon the relationships that we have in life. It starts off with the relationship we have with our mother. And those are the things that we're looking at. Especially as the North Node moves into Taurus mid-January. Because with the North Node in Taurus, it'll be the 8th house. And that's where we're learning patience with the relationships. As we have deeper relationships with people, we're learning how to have patience. And we're learning to not give our baggage to others or hold on to anybody else's baggage. And we're learning that anybody that's projecting onto us and not trying to right the wrongs, but just projecting to project, that they no longer belong in this space. And I feel like that's what that's what the tower is. It does feel like a 10 card for me, this tower. That's the thing, is it, a lot of times the towers come up and everybody gets really scared because they're like, oh, this mass destruction, what's going to be ruined in my life? What's being taken away from me? But it doesn't have to be that dramatic. The tower is simply removing things so that you can get back on the road to journeying. When we go through the traumas, the initial trauma as we're growing up, it's like life kind of stops. And then we have to kind of get back on course. And sometimes we have to detour to get around. But because this trauma stopped us in our tracks, everybody else was moving on and living with their lives and learning relationships and learning things with other people. And we had to stop and assess, process whatever was happening in our lives at the moment. And so when you go back to that and when you start to look at how that trauma affected you. And remember, and I had to even remind a dear friend of mine of this morning, that healing is non-linear and it is a lifelong process. And if you are here watching this video expecting to find out how you're going to heal yourself completely so that you can be a perfect individual, that's not the medicine that I'm giving out. What happens is each time we heal a part of that wound that comes up and surfaces, because the wound is also multidimensional. It's not just going to be like a flat surface thing. It's something it's deep, like a well inside of us. So each time you heal a layer, peel back the onion, heal that layer, you get stronger. Sometimes you cry a little bit more, but you always get stronger. And it's because you recognize the things that you will no longer put up with. And you recognize the ways that love actually is showing up for you, and the ways that love tried to show up for you but was masked with a lot of narcissism and egotistical situations and people. So you start to show up for yourself. And then you recognize, right, how much you truly deserve. But you have to weed out the individuals, and you have to weed out the situations in order to get to that worthiness and understanding what worthiness actually means for you. So January is going to be helping you with that. And it looks like there's a lot of clarity that will come out of it, and it looks like there's going to be the ending of probably a cycle that has needed to end for quite some time, and finally you're able to release it. So I'm excited to get into that a little bit further. And we will also talk about the astrology further. I have opened up my calendar for January readings. And for those of you that are interested in like New Year readings, I have 2 New Year readings that I'm offering right now. The January to June tarot reading, or you can get the astrology reading for the first 4 months of the year. So both of those are available on my website. The link for that is in the description box. If you would like to watch the extended, the link is also in the description box for becoming a member to the channel. If you become a member, you get so many other benefits too. Or you can go to Vimeo and get the extended there. I love you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me, and have a wonderful, wonderful new year. I'll see you soon. Bye.